Raider Nation, what's the deal, man? Once again, it's your guy Panama Fargo, back to y'all live with another episode of the Raider Rundown. Make sure I keep tapping on that like and subscribe button, man. I cannot thank y'all enough for sticking with your boy for the draft coverage, man. It was a very fun process. My first time doing it, and y'all really helped it go smooth, man. So once again, I can't thank y'all enough. I really appreciate y'all for helping me through this process, man. And for all my new subscribers, welcome to the channel, man. Hope y'all went back, checked out some of the previous content, and fuck with what you said, fuck with what you saw, man. We gonna keep it rocking, man, and I'm glad y'all here to keep me stable throughout the journey, man, and keep me right throughout this journey, man. So once again, I appreciate y'all, man. And let's go ahead and get this shit rolling. So topic of conversation today, you know, we had to get into the draft recap, and at the same time, what some of the insiders were saying about the Raiders draft, man, what people have been saying, and some of the little interesting tidbits I've been hearing about what the Raiders could have done. So, without further ado, man, let's get into it. Now, keep in mind, man, I'm only going to do rounds 1 through 3 today, and then I will finish off with 4 through 7 tomorrow. So, let's go ahead and get into the first half. So, today, our first pick, man, pick number 7 in the first round, Tyree Wilson, right? So, it is reported, apparently, that the Raiders were very close to selecting Paris Johnson Jr. with that 7th overall pick if he were to fall to them, right? According to Peter King, if you go check out the article, the Raiders were hoping that Paris Johnson fell right into their laps to select him. I know Josh McDaniels really wanted Paris Johnson, right? But as we all know, the Arizona Cardinals hopped over the Las Vegas Raiders to select Paris Johnson Jr. before the Raiders could get a chance to get their hands on him, right? So the Raiders went with the next best person on their board, which was Tyree Wilson. For me, I had to give that draft grade an A, okay? I love the grade. I love the potential the man has. And you finally address the defense. You finally give Max somebody to take under his wing, right? Somebody that he can grab and mold and try to give him some help on that other side with, you know, all the other deficiencies the Raiders have on this defense, man. I didn't think there was nowhere else to go. I mean, Devin Witherspoon was already targeted. It seems, and as we know already, the Raiders really weren't that high on Christian Gonzalez and certain other players. And somebody we already talked about that was on the board that I kind of knew the Raiders were going to pass on, which was Jalen Carter from the University of Georgia. Now, everybody can say that's the best player in the draft, which talent-wise, yes, you could say that. But at the end of the day, like we discussed earlier in this offseason, man, like the Raiders aren't going to go for none of that character shit right now. This regime ain't about that. This regime is about high-quality players, high-quality work ethic. You feel what I'm saying? And Tyree Wilson displays those things. Now, keep this in mind, Raider fans. I don't want y'all to get superly excited and overly excited about what this man is going to be year one. Okay, year one, I expect somewhere around 5-6 sacks. He's still got some growth and development to do within his game, man. So at the end of the day, I'm not expecting the world. But as the years progress, I expect us to have a very, very steady football player. Somebody who's going to be a cornerstone on that defense with Max for years to come. Now you move it to the second round, right? Second round now, it already has been reported that the Raiders were desperately trying to move up into that first round and select a prospect. Everybody was thinking it was somebody else, you know, Joey Porter Jr. And it very well could have been Joey Porter Jr. if they would have moved up. But according to Peter King, who was in the Raiders draft room when they were going through all these things, he said that it was Michael Mayer the whole time, right? But the Raiders weren't able to acquire, you know, a trade partner to get back up into the first round. Funny enough, it was going to be Kansas City with that 31st overall pick, but apparently Kansas City, you know, the asking price was too rich for their blood, and they decided they liked some other players more and decided to stand pat, you know, at 38. Now, once round 2 came, they were still trying to trade up. Would have been for Joey Porter Jr. if they could have got above the Steelers, but they knew the Steelers liked him, okay? Now, as the round progressed, the crazy thing there was sitting there and saying that, okay, you know, who's left on the board, okay? Because apparently the Raiders were targeting a tight end there. Who's left on the board? When Detroit moved up to select Sam Laporta, right, it was a shock for the Raiders because they expected Detroit to move up to select Michael Mayer. But When Detroit moved up to select Sam Laporta, the Raiders apparently were jumping for joy because they did not think that, he was going to fall that high. So immediately they ended up making that trade with Indianapolis from 38 to 35, right, to select Michael Mayer because they didn't think he was going to fall no higher than that, right? To me, that's an A+ grade, man. That's something right there that I feel like the Raiders hit a slam dunk on. To me, the best tight end in the draft, point blank, period. To me, man, can do all the things that you need a tight end to do. Can block, can catch, man. Has everything in his game that you're looking for from a starting tight end, man. And that's what I expect him to be year one. I expect him to be a starter. I expect him to be somebody that comes in here, man, and gives you immediate impact as soon as he touches the field. And let's keep it a buck, man. As much as we love Darren Waller, he wasn't the best, right, at certain aspects of his game, man. He had to go ahead and be a better blocker, man. But at the end of the day, this is a guy where we're not going to have to worry about that at all, man. He's going to come in, set that edge for Josh, so now we can run them outside zones, run them outside, type of plays, man, that we've been wanting to run in the run game for quite some time with Josh Jacobs. Just haven't been able to have the Hogs to do it. This right here would allow Josh Jacobs to now run them stretches, run them outside zones, and really put his foot in the ground and get going, right? Too many times last year we were trying to run those type of plays and we'd be getting stopped in the backfield, or it'd only be for a 2-yard gain because we didn't really have the tight end prowess to be able to hold that edge. So, once again, I give Michael Mayer an A+ grade, right? Moving on to the third round where it gets a little dicey, okay? Where fans started to get a little dicey, get a little irritated, okay? Now, we look at our third round, pick 70, Byron Young, defensive lineman out of Alabama, right? This one right here, I gave it a C, a solid C. Because you feel the need. You did feel a need within the team, but at the end of the day, man, there were other prospects to be grabbed that I feel like maybe could have been better, man. There were some corners still on the board that I liked there, but at the end of the day, after watching some of this guy's film, there's upside. And not just upside, there's pass rush upside, which is very, very valuable in today's game in the NFL, man. There's a lot of pass rush upside with Byron Young. Now, the one thing that you can't really knock on him is that he went to Alabama with a lot of other NFL talented prospects. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of NFL talent on that D-line. So there was a rotation. Wasn't really in there for a lot of full-time minutes, if we were to say that, okay? There was a rotation he had to get into, and he was asked to play a specific role, all right? Now, in the NFL, they're going to ask this man, me personally, to do what Bilal Nichols would be doing, which is be that D end, be that D tackle type of area tweener, right? Who could come in but give you pass rush. I'm not expecting this man to come in here and give you any type of things in the run. I feel like this guy has potential as a pass rusher. Now, obviously, he can come in and give you some run stopping ability, but that's not going to be his niche. We got Neil Farrell Jr. You know what I mean? Neil Farrell Jr. is that person that's taking over Jonathan Hankins' role that Jonathan Hankins had, and he's going to be stopping the run. Now we need an interior lineman who can rush the passer, and they feel like Byron Young is going to be that guy. Now, it's to be seen if he will, but it is flashes on tape of him, making that type of move. And at the end of the day, man, I see it. I see what they're talking about. Now it's up to the coaching staff to really get it out of him. Now, the pick that everybody was kind of mad at, and me personally, I might be the small majority who really fuck with this pick, right? But at the end of the day, man, me, pick 100, right? Tre Tucker, I gave a B, okay? I gave Tre Tucker a B grade. Not because, give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Now, Tre Tucker, wide receiver out of Cincinnati, pick 100, right? Everybody was giving him a hard time, didn't really like the pick. Me personally, okay, I like the pick. And I like the pick for a multitude of reasons. I think that, number one, I think that his game, his physical game, the way he plays, man, the toughness he plays with, I fuck with that off rip. Okay, that's the number one thing I fuck with. I mean, and that's not everybody, everybody's traits that they're like, okay, yeah, let's have this trait. But me personally, I like that. I like that out of a receiver. Number two, he's a hands catcher. I really fuck with that. You feel what I'm saying? When I watch the film and I turn on his film, very rarely do I see him make a body catch. Like, very rarely do I see him let it get into his body. Like, when the ball is thrown to him, that man is using the hands and it don't go nowhere. It don't move. You feel what I'm saying? Number 3, right? For what is the knock on his game, everybody says, oh, he's a speed guy. He's a speed guy. But when you turn on the film, he's doing a lot of intermediate shit. He's doing a lot of shit underneath. He's doing a lot of shit over the middle, man. And he's running them dig routes. He's running them, short meshes. He's running shit like that. And although speed is a very prevalent part of his game, and we know he can take the top off, on the offensive side of the ball, man, I was seeing a lot of things. When you look at his stats at Cincinnati, each year he incrementally got better. Yards-wise, catch-wise, receptions-wise, touchdowns-wise, got better. You feel what I'm saying? And that's something I really look at from a college kid coming out. Each year he improved. Each year the stats improved. And that just shows me he's working, man. It shows me he's really putting time into his craft. Now, immediately, do I expect him to come in here and take over the slot role? Like, no, I don't. I don't expect him to come in here and take over the slot role immediately. We don't even know if Hunter Renfrow is going to be gone. But at the end of the day, what he's going to give you is immediate toughness, and he's going to give you immediate special teams ability. Like we've been saying already, Hunter Renfrow got to go. As far as a kick return, punt return specialist, he can't do that anymore. All right, if he's going to stay on the team, I need him to focus solely on the offensive side of the ball. Now, this guy, Tre Tucker, this is a guy that's going to come in here and immediately take over that role if it's not DeAndre Carter. Okay, like the explosion he has in the special teams game is rare, and the explosion he has is something that we've been sorely lacking in special teams for a while now, man. So I feel like he's going to be able to come in and do that. But don't sleep on this man on the offensive side of the ball, okay? He has a very sneaky, tough game. And regardless of what y'all might say, I think he's a more athletic Julian Edelman, okay? In this scheme right here, he's going to play the Julian Edelman role if he was to get on the field offensive-wise, and he's the more athletic, faster, speedier Julian Edelman. Not elusive, okay? Not elusive, not super, shifty like that, but he's quick. You feel what I'm saying? And he's gonna show that speed eventually. Now, like I said, I'm just going through the first 3 rounds of the NFL draft. Tomorrow, I will go through the last rounds 4 through 7, man, and my grades. But, once again, go through it. I gave Tyree Wilson an A. I gave Michael Mayer an A+. I gave Byron Young a C. And then I gave Tre Tucker a B. All right, now that is my grades right now. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about those prospects first half, man, and how y'all feel about the grades, man. Remember, hit the like, comment, and subscribe button. And I always keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground on the Raider Rundown.